excited about this. Look at this. Paul, guess who we have now? You know, we often talk about Mayor Bloomberg, who is in his fifth or sixth term. The only public figure who's been in office longer than Bloomberg is Santa.
Santa.
But guess who we have tonight? We have the mayor of the great city of London.
Wow, really?
Yeah. And do you ever think about the mayor of London? I surely don't.
No.
Well, he's here.
Guess forward to see
Yeah,
him.
and he has a book. He's recently re-elected to his second term as mayor of London. He's the author of this book entitled Johnson's Life of London. Please welcome your London mayor, the Honorable Boris Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to New York City. Welcome to the show. Thank you very much for being here.
It's a great honor. I'm a fervent admirer of your work.
Well, I find that hard to believe, but thank you.
I watched it for many years.
Let me ask you this. To not love London...
Jane Fonda.
Yeah, go ahead. I've been all over that. Yeah. To not love London is to not love life. Who said that?
It was Samuel Johnson. Well, he said, he who is tired of London is tired of life.
So it's a variation on the same thing.
That's
is
right.
that true today in modern London?
I think London has, and he said, because for any man or woman who is at all intellectual, London has all that life can afford. And I think that is true. I'm delighted that you mentioned this book. My purpose is to celebrate London, to encourage people to come to the city and to proclaim the genius of London.
What is the population of London?
The population of London is about 7.8 million.
Mm-hmm. Is it rising or lowering?
It is growing. I say there's a huge phyloprogenitive instinct in the people of London.
Wow, what
amazing,
did you say? I'm sorry, what
amazing
did you say?
fecundity.
What was that?
London is, in fact, unlike any other major European city in that the population is growing.
That's
to
right.
put it more simply.
I remember being in Paris not long ago, and they said just the opposite is happening in Paris. So expensive that people are leaving the city.
And in order to cope with the demands of we have to build more homes, we have to put in ever better transportation system, as people will discover.
Now, let me ask you about the Queen's Diamond Jubilee. Do you know the Queen?
I've met her. I've met her.
Yeah,
she has a very lively sense of humour, and I liked your summary of the Diamond Jubilee you did just now. I thought that was
well. You're the one.
It was good, but you left out. You had hat, boat. You left out the rain. Mm-hmm. And the rain was a critical ingredient of what I think, and I heard someone say this, was one of the greatest aquatic triumphs of the British people since Trafalgar. And it was like a kind of version of Dunkirk, mm-hmm. except with a much jollier outcome.
Yes, much jollier. Now, who pays for the Diamond Jubilee? Does the City of London pay for it? Does the royal family pay for it?
Well, as you know, I try to get everything sponsored, and you may have heard in this country there's a very famous and distinguished banker called Bob Diamond, and I said that if he would consent to sponsor, then we'd call it the Diamond Jubilee. Uh-huh. And that was.
How did that go?
that was. I'm making that up, by the way.
Of course,
just for the avoidance of doubt.
I know.
He's a very generous guy, Bob Diamond, but he didn't.
I have to explain a lot of my jokes.
Yeah. Okay.
Now here, something I found
fascinating. He runs Barclays, which I think has a presence here.
Yeah, we know. What you're talking about. Just settle down. You were born in New York.
I was born in New York.
Now, doesn't that make you...
It does. And a fact I try to conceal from the electorate of London.
But doesn't that make you an American citizen?
It does, and it does. Jointly in America. This will be broadcast in London, and I wish to make it absolutely clear that my parents are British. I was born here. I wanted to be close to my mother at the time, and that was where she was. And
how old were you when you moved back to London?
I was 5.
5 years old. Do you remember much of that time in New York?
Not so much New York, because we moved to Washington and Connecticut and around. But I remember America. Mm-hmm. I remember vividly, and I have a lifelong. I think it's just too corny to say. I mean, it's a most wonderful country, and of course. Perhaps I can correct that sort of glutinous sentiment by saying I regard America as the proudest creation of London. After all, It was the ideas. It was. I can get away. It was the ideals of liberty and democracy and habeas corpus and freedom of speech that grew up in 18th century London, which were transmitted. Would you not say?
You're fine. You're among friends. Everything's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
And the Olympics coming up, the big summer for London. That'll be fantastic, won't it? Are the facilities ready to go?
It's all going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
It's all. And you know, you are most welcome to come.
I would love to come. I would love to come, but I know.
Can you do a show from London?
We did years and years ago. Did shows from London.
Well, now this is the year.
To do it again?
Yeah.
I can't travel.
I just saw your doctor give you a clean bill of health in spite of your impaired cognitive faculty.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, nice.
All right, this is the mayor of London, Boris Johnson. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Boris Johnson, the mayor of London. I remember the first time I was in London was 1972, and I thought, whoa, this is lovely. What a wonderful, and it seemed like it had not yet been touched by American commerce. You didn't see McDonald's, you didn't see Piggly Wiggly, you didn't see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think we were pretty poor back then. I think things weren't going so well for the economy, but
and
things have got much better now.
Tell people what you've done for the transportation system of your city.
Well, as I hope people will discover if they come this summer, there has been massive investment in the tube network. We've put air conditioning on 40% of the tube lines, which is good because we've got a very old system. We've got a massive new fast cross-town system called Crossrail coming in. We've got a wonderful new bus. We've restored to the streets of London the hop-on, hop-off.
That's what I remember.
Do you remember? You could get drunk and fall over backwards.
That's right.
And that was banned in the name of health and safety. And we've now restored that properly.
But talk about the bicycle the bicycle thing, which I believe is coming to New York City.
That's entirely correct.
But how does that work?
I'm a great fan of your mayor, of Mike Bloomberg.
Well, he's taken the fun out of Fun City.
No, I'm a bigger man.
Could you ban giant sodas in London?
We're not as we are. I may weigh way more than Mike, but as a city, we are not quite as fat as as if I can put this. I mean, not yet. I mean, I got to be honest about this. We're not there yet. Why can't you have a rule that you've got to put more ice in it? Because
fine. You're talking to the wrong guy. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
But now let's get back to the bicycle thing. Yeah. I love this. They're free bikes.
Yeah. It's a communist scheme.
You ride it across town. You drop it off. You pick another one up. Ride it back home.
That's right. It's an entirely communist scheme put in by a conservative mayor, and it works beautifully.
How many bikes do you have on the streets?
We've got more than 6,000.
And it's the same thing as coming here to New York City. That's fantastic.
Right. That's right. And I congratulate Mike Bloomberg on what I hesitate to endorse. Last time he was standing for election, I came here and he was in a quite a tough fight, it turned out. And I asked him whether it would be at all useful to him for me to endorse him.
Right.
And he thought about this for a while, and then he said, on the whole, he'd much prefer it if I resoundingly endorsed his opponent. He thought that would be...
That's rude. You don't need to take that. You're a big, important man.
Anyway, but I'm a supporter nonetheless.
Yes. And how long have you been cutting your own hair? I just wanted...
I think that was a low blow. I think that was a low blow. I think that was a low blow.
Look at mine.
Yours is true. I was beginning to think I'd got through this more or less unscathed.
Yeah,
you'd mentioned the book quite a few times. And,
no, I think it's a lovely thing. And look, here you are on your bicycles. There you are, right there. There you go. And will you run? Are you just re-elected? How many terms can you serve as mayor?
Well, this will be my second term. It is and I've said. In fact, I regret. I've said that I won't run more than that's it.
Yeah. So, is there a possibility you could become prime minister?
I think that is vanishing. I mean, I've about as much chance of being, you're reincarnated as an olive.
Why would you say that? Because politics is nothing
being
if not
blinded by a
ambition.
champagne one.
But it's nothing if not ambition. Why couldn't you think about being prime minister? You could if you wanted to.
Well, I suppose I could. I mean, as you've already pointed out, I could be president of the United States.
Yeah, well, I guess.
You know, there's no, you know, technically speaking. But you know, I think there are limits to the credulity of our audience. You know, that's what I would say.
You think the hair is holding you back? Honestly.
You know, until you mentioned it tonight,
yes,
I'd never regarded it as a drawback.
All right. Well, it's a wonderful city, and it's going to be a wonderful summer. Even without the Olympics, it would be a wonderful summer. It rains all summer in London, doesn't it?
It rains more in Rome.
It
rains more in Rome.
There you go.
More in Rome. What's it like?
Here's the book, ladies and gentlemen. Mayor Boris Johnson. It's Johnson's Life of London. There you have it. That's the man. Great pleasure to meet you, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Let's stay right there. We'll be right back with Jimmy Cliff.